Hey, how you doing, Christianized twin sister? Hey, Yogi mate, good to see you, Yog. What's happening, brother? Hope you're well, Yog. um, dee, 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 dee. Just bear with us, peeps. Just bear with us. There you go. Hey, Suzanne. How are you? You're well, Suzanne. How's that? Good to see you, bro. Hope you're all well today. I've just put my right title up on there now. Right or wrong, fake old man, just to please a certain person who thinks I'm a fake old man. Don't you just love it when a plan comes together? Yeah. How's everyone doing? You all well? This weather's back for a little while. Hi, Gillian. Good afternoon, Gillian. Hope you're well, Gillian. Yes, the weather's back now, people, for a few days. So let's make the most of it. I've got bowls tomorrow afternoon, then I'm off on the van. So I thought I'd use up the last of my 3 hours on StreamYard and go live for a couple of hours, see where it goes. Depends how many guests we can get in. I don't know if we get any at all. Everybody seems to be shying away from panels these days because they're afraid they're going to get struck by some unknown entity, you know? So, yes. There's just, I don't know, I think it's only in Wales at the moment, but anybody that's needing gluten-free, especially celiacs, they can now get their food free on like NHS prescription, a gluten-free bread and such like, and or you'll be given like a token effect to go and purchase. So that's going to be free in Wales. So I don't know if it's going to, if anybody other country will do it, because I don't know, it's going to fucking bust Wales, I will imagine, doing that, because there must be, thousands of people in that predicament. Not everybody with celiac disease, obviously, but, similar sorts of diseases where you're gluten-free and all this business. So now you can get it free in Wales. You can get your breads and everything free. So yeah, either on a prescription or on a Oyster card type of thing, Move to Wales. Yes. So we've got a few ghosters in. Big up the ghosters. Oh, I got to do something. I got to go and block someone. So hang on, people. Got to go and block someone. I was told I've unblocked them, so I've got to go in and block them again. So bear with us. Bit of silence for a couple of minutes, people. Bit of silence. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. We go down here to there. Let's see who else is blocked. Community. Yes, yes, yes. And on the outside. And we're coming on the outside, and it's Peter Cook, The Look of Love, Davina O'Connor, We Built This City, Moshake, Kaka, Kaka, Kaka. Tyson's nice, sticky block, don't they? Grip, that's your account, Sandra. Well, Sandra's not blocked, she's isn't there. I'm going to do that now. Nice, bright. Where's T-Buggy just crossed me by the especially she's blocked. Say, not that say. Betty Boo, M. Roberts, Max Powers. The Taylor Club, that team, well. Mrs. Lemon. She's not. No, that was him. YouTube scam gives me just 6 Chris. Rizzler. Oh, yeah. Blowfish. Some mess in a hurry. Save. So let's just shut that one. That one. And get back to normal. Hey, Snowy, how you doing, mate? John the Secret Penguin, good to see you. Ian Burns. Oh, Ian. Hello, Di. Good to see you. Hope you're well, Di. Oh, you're away on holiday again, Di? Lovely. Hey, Stevie boy. Edwin Wright, good to see you, sir. Hope you're all well, people. Just a little chat. There's nothing much going on. Or are you to cause animosity? Some people think I do. I do, and nakadu. As the saying wills. Lovely and sunny there, Snowy. Yes, not bad, yeah. Yes, Mrs. Lemon. You can blame Mr. BB. Didn't know you were in there till I just went back in there. Hey, Hammond, pronoun da to you and on my boy. Pronoun da. Yes, anybody wants to know what pronoun da is? This good afternoon. Vincent Vega, free gluten-free foods, free prescriptions. Is there anything you Welsh have to pay for? Well, we're paying living under the thumb of the English, Vincent. We have been for years. I'm going to put a link out. I don't know if Henry's come in. Vincent might pop up. Who knows? But I don't know where everyone is, people. They're all hiding. Or they're all listening to J.O.J. And his father telling everyone that the Nazis are in, the Nazis are there. In all the protests, it's Nazis, you know. But, listen, do they ever talk about Antifa mingling amongst them, you know? Did they ever say that? You know what I mean? Did they ever say that? You know, what the fuck has gone wrong there now? Oh, just balls up. Just balls it up. I'll have to put a link out in the bottom there and see. If anybody wants a link, then they're going to have to ask me for it. I've just fluffed it. So, yeah. I don't know how much it's going to cost the Welsh government by giving all this free stuff around, you know. Let me just make sure I'm absolutely, let me just make sure I'm right on what I just said. Here we go. In Wales, individuals diagnosed with celiac disease can access free or subsidized gluten-free food, often through a prescription or a subsidy card, depending on their area. The support is given to help manage the condition by enabling access to essential gluten-free staple foods. So there you go, I was right. What about that then? How's about that? Some areas in Wales may offer gluten-free food on prescription, but a doctor can prescribe a certain staple foods for collection at the pharmacy. Oh, subsidy cards. In other areas, prepaid subsidy cards may be provided, which is loaded with credit, offset the cost difference between gluten-free and standard foods. Oh, that's what it is. The focus is typically on staple foods like bread, pasta, and flour that are difficult to substitute with naturally gluten-free alternatives. It's important to remember that foods like fruits, vegetables, meats, and fish are not gluten-free. And there you go.
Oh, boy-o.
How are you doing, Mr. Vega?
Well, as Tom Jones always says, it's not unusual.
It's not unusual.
I'm all right. I thought I'd come on and be your opener, squeeze myself in before Chris Wright comes along and absolutely fucking takes over the whole panel with his ever fucking deepening questions.
Yeah, I thought everyone was over at the Burks listening to him from this Nazi stuff.
Oh, well, I was out. I was out while they did that live stream, and I was with somebody, so I didn't really get a chance to listen to it. But I did see the theme, and I did see a post, I think, from last night where he said the whole thing was organised by some neo-Nazi hate group. Oh,
I know, it's incredible.
And this horrifies me. We know who were there, and we know who the interested parties were. They're very concerned parents of children, which I think is a demographic you don't fuck with, Tyrone. Yeah, not exactly. Parents. Yeah. I remember Mr. Stone from my son's school never fucking fucked with me after we had one rather odd incident with a school teacher. So, yeah, you don't mess with parents. You don't. So for them pair of, I'll keep it to a minimum for you, Tyrone, out of respect. But for them pair to claim it was some kind of Nazi organisation that sort of masterminded the whole thing, it's just ridiculous. And finally, I'll say before you can reply, I think it's incredibly sad for somebody to live their life thinking there is a Nazi organisation out there that will go back to what happened from 1939.
Yeah. Hey, Kev. Good to see you, mate. You know, the funny thing is, you never hear them saying, Antifa integrate with these people, and they're the ones that starts a bit of bother, and then it all looks bad on the families that are actually protesting peacefully. No, it's a neo-Nazi group that's doing this, Yep. It's the Antifa, these the fuckers that's doing it.
Well, when you look at the behaviour of Antifa, a lot of them, they've done this over the years, a lot of them turn out to be convicted pedophiles. They turn out to be convicted, very sort of angry, violent people, which is why a lot of them wear masks when they go to these protests, because they don't want to be recognised. They don't want to be continually recognised. Pattern recognition. And if you're talking about teams, if we were to make it teams, our team versus their team, including the people that they support, are doing a lot of bad things. Our team has done nothing. I can't think of one isolated incident where one of these far-right, neo-Nazi, immigrant-hating humans have done anything harmful to anyone. I cannot think of one instance. If anyone in the chat wants to remind me of anything, I mean, don't bring up the fellow who sort of, shot all those people in Norway or anything like that, because that's not the same thing. But I can't think of one thing, Tyrone. And all I saw was peaceful, protesting parents.
This is the thing I keep saying, Vincent. It's ordinary people, ordinary families, worried for all their children, their grandchildren, and that's all I can see,
Yep.
All right, sometimes, I will admit, sometimes there are youths there that get a little bit out of hand, Once one starts doing something, it sort of accelerates onto, and they all get involved then. But other than that, what I've seen there so far is just parents, deeply concerned about their children and having these people around the area, That's all it is.
And I would like to point out, if anyone's not aware, as of last night, the local council, Epping Council, voted unanimously to not allow the hotel migrants to be there anymore. So they're closing it down. So the neo-Nazi hate protest was a success. Now, this is marvellous. This is absolutely marvellous, as I noted the other day to you about Stradey Park. these things really do make a difference. You don't need to kick a police van. You certainly don't need to pull off a wing mirror. You just need to stand there and be counted. These things really do successfully achieve what we want them to achieve, which is why the police are happy to antagonise, which is why the police are happy to infiltrate and also put in agents provocateurs to make us all look like we're violent and neo-Nazis, you know. Yeah. So they know if it goes peacefully, it's a success. They know this. But somebody, and I've heard this a few times recently, not my thoughts, unfortunately, but somebody pointed out recently to me that whilst what's happening right now is a movement, it's a movement of concerned parents, and also the wider group of people in the areas who certainly don't want crime to rise to the startling levels that it does as soon as you move these people in. If that movement doesn't suit your tastes, then what comes next is far worse. So this movement needs to be successful, and it is so far. But what comes after? I mean, if fucking Burke and his fucking Burke of a father are worried about what they're seeing now and labelling them, what comes afterwards? Far worse. Yeah. Far worse, and is going to be far more successful as well.
I think that Charles Ford on that thing about Southport last night, I got it on record. I didn't watch it about the murders. And that.
Isn't it the 1 year anniversary now? Yeah.
So that's going to make things a little more, a bit more tension in all sorts of areas, I would imagine. But I mean, I can only see it growing, Vincent. I honestly can only see it growing. Unless the government actually do something about it, it's going to keep on growing and growing, and it could get a lot worse, you know?
Well, the government aren't going to change their strategy on what they're doing. I mean, we've got now, well over 150,000. The number's huge, the number's massive, but from what we've been logging the last year or two, maybe 2.5 years, 150,000 completely undocumented, illegal migrants. That's a massive problem. The government won't do anything to reverse that. The government will have to, at some point, stop it. They will, because I'd like to see people in all areas, all over the country, just go and do what they did in Epping. Just stand there and wait. That's all it takes.
It's Chris, yeah. Chris is just popping.
Is he getting in?
It's for open borders. JJ, are you happy with sexual assault on British women and children and migrants back? It's on the newspaper and talk TV show. Jeremy Kyle is not happy about it. Jeremy Kyle.
Yeah.
They can keep, people like them can keep denying it. The far left will keep denying, live and let live. Everybody gives a chance.
Well, they don't deny it. They just justify it. They'll tell you, well, that's okay. 18 women were raped violently by Afghan migrants that were in the country for 3 days. But don't worry about that, because there's a few white people that do that as well, So let's just fill the country full of more. Yeah. That's their logic.
Yeah, it's true. It's a sad situation. I think, until it actually happens to somebody near you or somebody you know or a family member, I can't even ever imagine my granddaughter being touched by one of these people,
Yeah.
And I think this is why these people are out on the. I don't know if you heard the news report when they done Stradley Park, right? It may have been racist in what he said. He said, "Why are you against these people coming here?" He said, "Because I don't want to see my grandchildren on a prayer mat."
Yeah.
That's what he said that on the news.
Yeah. Well, there's a 1,000 reasons why we really shouldn't have them here in this country in the first place. Before you even get to the heinous crimes that they're committing, the fact that I don't want an incompatible culture here that at some point will want to repaint the walls. at one point will want to create the dominant religion as a religion which has no relation to me or my descendants at all.
Yeah.
Whether I remain here or not, it looks like I'm not going to be here because everyone's fucking leaving. So I think at some point I'm gonna.
Okay, where you gonna go, Vincent? Because apparently it seems to be happening all over Europe now.
Well,
it's a clip of Greece actually putting them all on an airplane, saying bye bye. Rounding them up, getting them out of Greece, starting to move them out. And this is what we need to do, and all the rest of Europe needs to do it.
Well, we're starting to see. I think the EU has just given Romania about £1 billion to help with its immigration policy. Now, Romania voted a right-wing government in about a year and a half ago, and now they're looking at millions of African and Middle Eastern migrants going in there, which is going to be trouble, let me assure you.
Absolutely.
Poland...
different cultures, you're going to get trouble with different cultures,
Yeah. Poland are shooting them on the border. Poland are using live rounds now to get rid of the immigrants on the border, the illegals. And the Czech Republic's holding off reasonably well. The last time I was there was a large group of Africans in one of the parks that me and my son go to quite regularly. But incredibly low numbers, and let me assure you, the Czechs are well equipped to deal with these things. They'll be in fucking vans with hoods on and out of the country within about an hour when necessary, because that's what they'll do with the Romas, the Roma gypsies. They just literally clear entire towns.
If you see them in Poland where they've got their border, I think it was like a fence, and then they're doing all sorts to break the fence. Listen. This is where we're saying it's illegal. They come here by dinghies. There's nothing to stop them. They just get on the shore and they're away. Before this, they were coming up in dinghies and just running all sorts of directions once they got on the shore. But now they're bringing them in. They're putting them in hotels.
Well, they know the structure's there for them.
But they're saying now, the government is saying now they're going to stop putting them in hotels. So where are they going to go if they're not in hotels?
It's going to be problematic.
Yeah.
If people start catching on to these new hotels, I mean, there's plenty of hotels across the country, I don't know what the number is, which are full of them. If they start filling up new hotels, I think people may well replicate what we saw in Epping, I hope. So yeah, it's going to come to a head at some point, quite soon, sooner rather than later.
I think that Hammers was a lot of these, big up, two down Hammers.
I spotted him at Epping.
Did you?
Yeah, he was on one of the live streams. Well, he was a bit caught by a few of them. I didn't quite catch it. Didn't quite recognise him at first. He looked a bit different. When you see them in sort of the flesh kind of thing. I know we see him on camera a lot, but you tend to just see his head and shoulders. And but yeah, it was him. He was there, getting all involved. He had a Nazi outfit on, Nazi uniform on, false moustache. He didn't. That was a joke.
This is a sad thing. I think where they're trying to suppress, you can't speak up about it because you're being called a racist or whatever. So people are afraid to talk about it, so they're suppressing it in that way.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of people are terrified after what they saw last year in Southport. Terrified that they might just be put in prison for 3 years for saying something.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
And
I don't know what's happened. I know they went on in court. The Asians that were beating up the coppers at the airport. So I don't know what's happened to those. I know they went to court. I don't know if they've been sentenced or
probably adjourned for another year or so.
Yeah, but when people were on social media just typing things, they were rounded up straight away and put in prison.
Yeah. The expedience of the law was in full motion when it was for the indigenous folk who commented on the safety of their children. But yeah, those Pakistani men in the airport. Apparently, one of them claimed he didn't know he was hitting a woman.
Oh my God. I don't know.
Ridiculous.
And this is why, keep going back, this is why people are so angry in this country
Yeah.
because nothing gets done. Nothing
Yeah.
is done at all.
Yeah, I mean it's called accelerationism, isn't it? If you leave the problem and just let it get worse and worse and worse, it's got to go bang at some point. And sometimes it's better for it to be worse, because there's only one place it can go when it gets absolute worse, and that's better again. So sometimes it's better to just sit back and watch the mess made, you know.
Right. Okay. 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 Uh, well, we don't. There's a lot of it goes on, Chris, all over the place. Hey, JPM, how you doing, brother? Yes, Vincent.
I think police officers like women being. Oh dear, Chris.
Bear with me. I'm just going to go
You're not
into
going extremist, are you, Chris? You're not turning into one of those Nazis that JOJ is telling us all about, are you?
Yeah, you're very careful, Chris. You've got to be careful. Got to be careful.
Can imagine you goose stepping all up and down Costa del Sol's promenade, Chris, wherever
Now,
you are.
us talking about the, immigration and talking about, then now we're going to, I know what they're going to say. They're going to say about us being racist and borderline terrorists and whatever. But it's okay for them to spread propaganda about, Nazis being involved in this thing. It's all right for them to talk about it and say that.
Oh, of course, of course. Well, they are, beyond reproach, aren't they? Them pair of fucking idiots. Lived off benefits their entire lives. They've bummed off society. And it's your, the epitome of the left, sorry, blimey, your lefty socialist. They've lived off society, bummed off society for all of their lives. They've not had a very good go at life, and they feel aggrieved, so they want to destroy society. They think getting rid of capitalism, that evil capitalism, which has held them back their entire lives, of course, they think socialism is going to come in, or communism as it's formerly known, is going to come in and change their lives, make an equal footing for all of them. They will live in the same house as you and I, Tyrone, but they don't have to work for it. They will eat the same food but not have to work for it. They will, have the same lifestyle and not have to work for it. And sadly, communism doesn't really achieve that. Go and look what Chairman Mao did. Go and look what Stalin did. That communism is a troublesome beast.
Yeah. Actually, yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, Chairman Mao killed about estimated sort of 80 to 90 million people. The official figures is 60 million.
Was it him with the Tiananmen Square, the tank, and then all that? Was that?
Well, he was long gone by then. Old Mao was.
Was he?
I can't remember who was in power for Tiananmen Square. I remember that, and I remember all the rumours of what actually happened. Did you ever read a record of what actually happened afterwards?
No.
It was horrific, as you can imagine.
Oh.
As you can imagine, the man who stood there with his food shopping in his hands didn't survive the day. They literally steamrolled the lot of them. It's just awful. And
I think, and yet these people seem to think that communism is the way forward.
Well, they have no other option. They're not going to latch on to capitalism, are they? Fuck me. The day you get JOJ or fucking Niggy working for a living, it'll be a very dark day, I tell you. A very dark day.
What makes people the different? Like you and I believe in different things, but I can't understand. I can't get my head around why people think that this other stuff is going to work. When it's over the years.
Yeah, let's make it work this time.
It's never ever worked. So why is it going to work now all of a sudden?
Deng Xiaoping was China's leader at that ping.
Oh, nice one, Pakwa. Nice one, mate.
Yes. I wouldn't have known
But there
that.
you are. Communism can only work if 80% of the population is murdered.
Well, do you know what? That's kind of the logical way to approach communism, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know in Russia, during the height of communism, they had to outlaw eating your own children because this was a very popular pastime. They first started with animals, dogs, and personal sort of animals, and shifted it on to your own children. It was illegal to eat your own child. I know, but as Margaret Thatcher said about communism, the bad thing about communism is you eventually run out of other people's money. And
That's something you like about it, Vincent. I watched a video on here the other day with Maggie Thatcher's talking about immigration, and if she was still around, they wouldn't be here. She wanted them all out. She wanted the lot out, gone.
you can only assume. I think about this quite a lot. You can only assume there's a lot of politicians who represent demographics, represent areas, represent parties, represent sort of political movements that work completely opposite to their beliefs.
Yeah.
You know, to the point where I've often wondered whether people like Jeremy Corbyn is completely against immigration, but realises it's of benefit to his cause. You know, it's more than possible. I know he's married to a black woman, but or a Jewish black woman or something like that. A very strange-looking woman she is. I think she's South American Jewish. I think she is. She's a very odd mix. So I do wonder whether some politicians, you know, they are completely the opposite of what they sort of campaign for in politics, and it goes the same way. Maybe people like what's his name, Farage, is completely for immigration, but realises it's an opportunity for him to get into politics at a very high level.
Oh,
You know?
I didn't know he was for immigration. I always thought he was dead against it.
No, what I'm saying is it's possible that he is for immigration. You know,
Yeah.
it's possible. You don't know. They're all actors anyway. We know that. You know, politics is theatre. It's the stage.
I think isn't he married to a German woman or something?
He's married to is she French? No, she's German. Yes, she's German.
yeah.
Yes.
Gripper am I hidden?
The F in communism stands for food.
Gripper am I hidden? Let's have a look, yeah. Well, it
I'm
can't
not-
be a real gripper.
I'm not so sure Farage is a fraud. I think Farage is fairly genuine, but I think, you know, if you work for a company, you work for a company and you work in management, or you work in a certain department, you will always be loyal to that department and loyal to its message until you leave that company. And that's what politics is. And I think Farage toes the line a little bit too much. We had all the messing around last year with all the funding and all the people in the background. And I think that was really, I think that should have been far more damaging for Farage than it was, you know. I think he's quite genuine. I just don't think he's allowed to open up.
Do you think, was it any truth? I've seen video clips of it, but I don't know what actually was happening when he said they're actually busing the lefties to the protest, the police. Did you see that?
I did. Well, I was watching that live stream. I had that live stream on in the background. I didn't see anyone getting busted. What I did see was people being escorted to the protesting area. Now, if ever I've watched a Tommy Robinson sort of protest in London, all of the Tommy Robinson supporters will usually rally or gather at a train station, usually King's Cross. I've seen before once or twice. And then the police will escort them to the protest area, which is, again, Westminster Gardens, and so on. So there's no difference there. You know, the police escorting them lefty shunts to the protest is exactly the same as Tommy Robinson's supporters being escorted to London, to the centre of London. What I did see was them being bussed out, and one of the police officers shouting, "Right, everyone on the buses."
All about
Regarding the police vans, and they put all of these lefties on the police vans and bussed them out.
Yeah.
So they were bussed, just only in one direction.
It's, I don't know, supplies the coaches or supplies, because I remember I'm going back to the Stradey Park Hotel again. Excuse me. There was 3 buses came up from Swansea, and apparently they were all paid £30 for the day to come up and create havoc, you know.
Yes.
Nazis scum off our streets and all this nonsense. So I wonder who's actually behind this, paying for the coaches, paying for these people. I wonder who's actually doing that. They must have deep pockets.
Well, there's always the finger pointed at the various sort of NGOs, various sort of organisations like Hope Not Hate and various other lefty organisations that are accused of organising and funding these things. I would say it's a government programme. It's intended to show whether it's a balanced sort of response, in the sense that if you've got 50 or 100 people saying get the immigrants out, it's probably wise to get another 50 or 100 people saying get the immigrants in. You know, to sort of, so if anyone's watching, because some people are very impressionable, I don't think anyone here on this panel or in the chat will be surprised if I was to say that most people in society are as thick as pig shit, you know, and as easily influenced as each other. So for them to see the sort of the two-prong approach is probably better for the government. Less people will be radicalised, as the Burkes would say, radicalised into wearing an SS uniform at weekends while he's walking around Oldie. Okay, no.
They knew they were Nazis because they were goose stepping on the march.
Oh my lord!
Hey.
My fucking word! And you know this?
All the black boots on.
Yeah, the sad thing is if them, I'm going to swear here, if them pair of cunts had ever worked a single fucking day in their life, either of them, and earned their own money and had to feed themselves, they'd soon change their mind about how much free stuff is handed out to those who simply won't or ever will appreciate it.
I thought the younger one was a teacher.
Is he fucking bollocks? He calls himself a designer as well, doesn't he? A clothes designer. He's got about 37 people on fucking Facebook that follow him. If ever he gets famous, all of his followers are going to find out how we talked about the Queen and her corgi, because I have it all stacked up ready. Every single one of his fucking supporters on social media will hear his voice talking about the Queen and her corgi. That gun's loaded, JOJ.
Can somebody check the Gripper account out? One of them always check the Gripper account.
Welcome back, Gripper.
Is it actually Gripper?
No, sadly it won't be.
No. I wonder. One of the mods check out the Gripper account for me, please. Yeah, Corky's latest master. Yeah, it's a. The thing is, I hate putting it on the news because the story here is the war in Afghanistan, Ukraine, and whatever other clangers this government is dropping. And now we've got Mr. Trump going to Scotland, and they've spent, I don't know how much it's costing the Scottish police government for all the policing that's going on there
Yeah,
because
good.
he's it's
Precious
a
cargo.
fortune. It's a fortune.
Precious cargo.
Oh, Donald.
Yeah, needs to be preserved, old Donald. Yeah, he's shaking the establishment, isn't he? I don't really
Hey, Freddie Bollocks. Good to
think
see you.
he's that successful as a president so far, but he's troubling the establishment, and he's more than troubling the opposition, and that pleases me.
They've got total control, haven't they, of both
Yeah,
uh, the House of
yeah,
Representatives and whatever else is. There's
that's right.
basically anything they want, they should be able to pass. Without any.
Well, it still goes down to the final vote, and they've got pretty much everything through that they wanted to so far, haven't they?
Yeah, yeah.
Even his, what was it called? His big, what was it called? Oh, fucking hell. Somebody's going to put it in before I can remember it. His big bill, what was it called? You remember?
No, I can't.
Oh, oh, it was a ringy name. It was only just gone through the last 2-3 weeks. The big, oh, I can't remember.
But
The big
the thing,
beautiful bill. There it is. Lord, it's got it. The big beautiful bill.
well done, Lottie, mate. The thing,
That's the one.
he was. I mean, people actually. There's more people for him in the USA and against him. That's the thing, isn't it?
Got a lot of support at the moment. Yes, I
Yeah.
think the his endeavours with ICE have solidified his position. You know, like you said earlier, to sort of change it a little bit. There are a lot of people that think like us, but are too scared to do so because they don't want to be labelled. Plus, as well, it's not that they think it's wrong. They just think it may well hinder them in the future. When those people are confident enough to speak their minds, which is nothing Nazi at all, just to
Yeah.
speak their minds, that's when you will see the true extent of where the mindsets are in this country, you know. And I think people will be incredibly surprised. Incredibly surprised.
Well, I think there's, like you said, there's a lot more people hiding behind. I mean, it's what happened initially, Vincent, to frighten all these people. Was these people getting thrown in prison for no reason by
Yeah,
the government, and it
yeah.
put the shits up a lot of people, and they're
Oh,
afraid.
big time.
Yeah, they're afraid to speak up about anything now
Yeah,
because you'll be labelled as racist or terrorist or whatever, any other issue you can think of.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
there's only a limited amount of people out there, but I think the momentum is actually growing on these protests. I'm not sure if I heard somebody say that it's going to be a weekly thing that they protest in different cities throughout the UK.
I would hope so. I
Yeah,
would
so
hope
would
so.
I. So would I.
I mean, Epping is an absolute success. The government cannot go against its council. That would be unheard of for it to go against the council decision now. So that place has to close down.
Hmm.
Those migrants, if they are still there, I don't think anyone is aware of whether they're there or not, are they? But they need to be rehoused. They'll have to go somewhere else.
Yeah, yeah.
And dead simple. Just get a large crowd somewhere else. You know, I'm not a fan of auditors, but they're doing a reasonably good job at the moment. I'm not including Torbs or fucking Gamer in this, but the ones who are actually going to the protests without having to go fund me 72 pence for a bus ride, of course, are doing a very good job. A very good job of making people aware.
I'm not a big. I said it many times. I say it. I'm not a big fan of it, Vincent. To be honest with you, I mean, when it started off initially, it was police stations for actually paying coppers, and that was a fine thing to do. But it just once people could see the money was being earned for putting in claims against the police,
Yeah,
false, fault. But although a lot of those orders instigated the trouble to
yeah,
get arrested, and
yeah.
then they
I
actually
think
got money.
I think there was two factors that finished it for me. One was that any money that they were earning was just getting spent on weed and fucking booze, and fuck all else. It wasn't there to improve their lives or the lives of their families. And firstly, put that 1 second. Firstly, was that when I realised that every single one of these auditors who were antagonising the police had actually been arrested by the police countless times and been in prison and been charged with all manner of charges, all manner of crimes, it just made you think, well, you're not doing it for the betterment of society. You're doing it because you're fucking pissed off with the police.
It's like got somebody in the back there. Don't know.
Is it Torbs? Let him on. Oh, tear him limb from limb.
Bear none of it. So I don't know you from Adam. Go and type in the chat, and when the mods can check you out. And if you sound them, we can bring you up. But I'm not going to bring you up because I don't know you. So go and type in the normal chat. You can get checked out by the mods. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we were talking. We discussed some of the orders and criminality they've been involved in. Along the way.
They all had
Nessie. Oh, Vincent, I seen you were on Nessie's too. That's right. I chatted.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Baron, if it's say, are you Polish or Czech?
It's J-O-J.
Oh, is it?
English.
He's a Ponzi fucking twat then.
No,
he's coming on to debate the bollocks out of us, Tyrone. He's gonna, he's gonna.
He's got to subscribe.
Gonna change our minds, and everyone in the chat, prepare yourself. Put your head between your knees. You're just about to be re-educated by fucking JOJ.
It's not JOJ. At least I don't think it is.
What can I sound rattly today? Gosh.
Yeah. I started to I was looking, I thought, I was thinking Ozzy Osbourne, I think you see him sometimes. I never watched the on total different slant here. They done a documentary made on the Osbournes. I never watched it, but I've seen a few clips now, and I thought, do they actually love one another? Do they actually see one another? Because like Sharon was off with Simon Cowell here in Britain, and Ozzy maybe in, I think it was Los Angeles they were living or somewhere. I'm not sure. But,
yeah.
I mean, they truly do are deeply in love. I come to understand that now. It's,
well, they stayed together for many, many years. She was the father of a very high-profile record producer. That's how she got into the industry. I think she was like a talent scout, talent scout slash sort of, what's the word, groupie. She was kind of put in with big bands to control them to a degree, So yeah. She would have been like a sort of a muse, but a planted muse,
Oh yeah.
So she had relationships with some very sort of famous rock stars over the years, and then ended up with Ozzy. But apparently she was still game whilst they were married. Wow. She had slept with half of the band, if not most of them. Was he a band manager? I thought he was a music publisher, but maybe I'm remembering wrong.
Well.
But yeah, she was like as Diane says, like a fixer. She made sure everything fell into place. Mm-hmm. She made sure that they had the right drugs. She made sure they didn't take too many. Made sure they turn up for the gig and things like that. And they got married. I find her interesting, but I don't find her very sort of
At,
warm or nice, you know.
at one
She's
point,
a very cold creature.
do you think so?
Yeah, I do.
I thought at one point she wasn't a bad-looking woman, but then she started having plastic surgery, and her face just sort of poof, went,
Yeah, she's had publicly had Ozempic as well recently, hasn't she? The diet jab,
Oh, it's like
which
putting a marshmallow near the fire, and you can just see it slowly dripping, breaking down, And that's the way her face went, Like Simon Cowell is the same, like, fucking hell.
yeah,
Totally.
aging's not a great thing though, is it? So I think if you have the ability to sort of try and grasp at sort of not aging, you would do it. Possibly.
I don't know, Vincent. I mean, I did see her crying once on X Factor or something like that. When somebody sang a song, she was crying her eyes out. Apparently, she was very close to George Michael, and they were singing a George Michael song, and she was bawling her eyes out. So, there's some tenderness within her, obviously. But in real life, who knows? She might just be a hard woman, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Di says about Ozempic. I think the dangers of that are gonna be discovered before too long. Di, I don't think it's natural for
No.
people to be taking things like that. You
I
get it
think
on the dodgy market, can't you? I think it's like £100 a jab or something
I
on
just,
the black market.
yeah. I couldn't do that. Honestly.
No. Well, you're a fine figure of a man, Tyrone. You wouldn't need it. You wouldn't need it. You wouldn't need it. Same structure as Hulk Hogan. You are in his prime.
Poor Dabber. Poor Dab. Oh,
I never got into that wrestling thing. I keep reading lots of messages of people saying, "Oh, I grew up on Hulk Hogan," and my favourite wrestler. I never got into that wrestling lark at all. I think I missed it completely.
140 a month, and you get delivered. I've got to stay in the fridge. That's what she was telling me, which is 160.
140 a month. Blimey, Hattie Jakes.
So hearty chicks.
I
She looks like
often
Celine Dion. That's not a good thing these days, Dad, to look like Celine Dion.
I often stay in a hotel, and you can see the back of Hattie Jakes' old house in London.
The UK lady was quoted 900 a month, he said.
I remember Giant Haystacks, Big Daddy. I remember that as a child.
Oh, yeah. That was Saturday afternoon, wasn't it?
Yes. What was his name? Shirley Crabtree?
Shirley Crabtree, yeah. And there was Mick McManus was another one. It was Saturday after Grandstand, I think he wasn't it?
Well, didn't the American wrestling come after the British wrestling in the timeline of things? The American wrestling was big long after.
Way.
Saturday afternoon wrestling went by the wayside.
World of Sports, James Ryan.
World of Sports, that's it.
Yeah.
Now, am I right in remembering that wrestling was taken off the television because they admitted that it was fake?
Yeah, Kendall Nagasaki. There's a lot of old wrestlers coming. I think, well, it is fake. I mean, you've got to be honest. The Americans now have got it, so it is sort of. It's still fake, but you can get hurt the way they go about it. Really.
Oh yeah, I mean it's very physical.
Yeah.
Incredibly physical. Very, very theatrical and very sort of what's the word? What's it called when they sort of practice until perfect? I can't remember. Choreographed. That's the one.
Choreographed, yes.
But yes, I don't dispute for 1 second. If I was to be one side of that, it'd probably kill me.
I think even though you practice so much, Vincent, it just takes that little mistake, and when they slam you down, you could bloody break your neck or break your back, or
Well, they die very early, don't they? These wrestlers, they die very early.
Yes.
They have a lot of physical problems. I think
Yes.
the movie, The Wrestler, highlighted this, that he sort of spent his whole life, or most of his adult life, sort of entertaining people as a wrestler, and it just destroyed his body to the point where he was injecting himself daily to be able to move. So yeah, I don't doubt the physical damage.
A lot of them do it, Vincent. Absolutely, a lot of them actually. They're in so much pain that they're drugged up on prescription drugs, and then they're just hooked on them. And it goes down a different route altogether. And then after that.
Well, boxing. Kev Geller says boxing is now going down the same route. I'm not so sure about that. Not in the sense that people are pushing themselves. I think boxing is becoming safer. I'm seeing some very early decisions by referees recently that I've not seen before. I mean, the days of watching a middleweight get absolutely pummeled to death by another middleweight are long gone. They're not allowing that anymore. So boxing is not necessarily going down that line, but we are getting the old boxers coming back and trying to sort of replicate as a money earner. And one which pops straight in my head is Butterbean. Butterbean is now, I think he's 60 now.
Yeah.
Now, the last time I saw Butterbean, it was on a YouTube video with a guy who does yoga. I can't remember the name of the guy who does yoga. He was a famous wrestler. And he's now got a yoga program, which he makes a lot of money from. And Butterbean was in a wheelchair. Unable to walk hardly.
That's
and this guy got hold of him and got Butterbean back to some good level of fitness. I think the YouTube video will be there for anyone to see. By the end, it's the result is startling. Butterbean's sort of fitness comes back amazingly, quite quickly as well.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Butterbean's talking about fighting Tyson Fury now. Butterbean is dead. He's not dead. Don't say that.
Money is it just rules
DDP Yoga, that's the one. And I can't remember the name of the guy because, like I said, I didn't really get into that
on the board today,
wrestling thing. But yeah, some clever people in your chat, Tyrone. Some very, very learned folk.
Like I say, the influence, the money influence, like this Jake Paul business now, he puts up a stack of money. Look, I watched him fight Mike Tyson. I watched Mike Tyson train before the actual fight, and he looked as sharp as a tack, and like he was when he was in the ring before. But when he actually got in the ring with Jake Paul, he never threw a fucking
bag of shite. You would have given him a run for his money, Tyrone.
It's all they don't take. And I think he's come out now and said he's going to take anyone else that says his fight's a fix, he's going to take him to court. And I think somebody went on and said, fix,
Well, what happened, and this is the problem, this was the catalyst for everything, is that you had, if I can remember, Jake Paul or the other one, whoever his brother is, and when he fought KSI, so you had two, and as far as I'm concerned, two nobodies on YouTube. I hadn't heard of either of them at the time. Yeah. And they went and earned more money than the previous biggest boxing bout in that same arena. They probably doubled the earnings just by all the spotty ginger kids on the internet paying £5 or £10 to view this fight. And that caused an avalanche. People just smelt money.
This is why it's ruining the real boxing game.
Yeah.
These fucking clowns are getting fucking so many likes and looks and fucking whatever off these idiots that wants to watch them. I think, fucking hell.
Which is why, what's his name? The cousin, Fury's cousin. Oh, I can't remember his first name now.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, you'll remember it in a second. But he went on to fight, I think, 3 or 4 consecutive what I consider to be, obviously non-title, non-sort of ranked fights with just nobodies, for fun, for shits and giggles, effectively.
If I'm honest, what they call a German
Tommy Fury. Well done, James.
Yeah. if you've got a good journeyman, he would batter the shit out of Jake Paul. Never
Yep.
mind a professional boxer. A good,
Yep.
obviously a professional boxer, but a good journeyman that's not getting anywhere, but turns up every day, gets paid
Yep.
X amount of money, and puts a good show up.
Yeah.
He would
Gets
batter
in.
the shit. He would
Yeah.
batter the
Gets
shit.
in. Gets the job done and leaves. Yeah.
Hey, Paul.
Eats, shoots, and leaves.
That's what a panda does, isn't it?
It certainly is. It's one of my ex-girlfriends used to describe me as that as well.
We won't go into that, Vincent.
No, of course not.
But after doing it, yeah.
What did you think to the most recent big fight? Usyk versus Dubois?
Yeah. I watched. I only watched it on YouTube. I didn't see the actual fight. I only seen the last little bit of it.
Okay.
I think he's there. Usyk is there for the taking, really. But there are more dangerous boxers out there than I think this Dubois. He seemed to be overwhelmed by the fame of the guy. Didn't throw much at all.
No. Well, they're claiming he quit. They're claiming that he just gave up, pretty much like the time before.
Yeah.
I tend to agree. I mean, recently he's had some moments of glory. Old Dubois has, most notably against Joshua.
Yeah.
And I thought, because Dubois is a funny one. He kind of came up very, very quickly. There was 2 or 3 boxers that came up at the same time. There was an Irish guy as well who's just fell by the wayside now, sort of a gypsy Irish. I can't remember his name. My memory is shit today, although I'm really tired. But Dubois came up with that pack, and Dubois showed great promise, and then he fell to the Irish guy that I'm mentioning now, but I can't remember his name. And he smashed his eye socket. And after that, Dubois looked like he was finished. It looked like his bottle had gone. And then he out of nowhere started to have success again. So I thought, back on track, But yeah, these 2 fights with Usyk have finished him now. I think psychologically, he's finished.
Well, when you look at it, Vincent, I mean, Anthony Joshua's been beat by some right bums,
I think I could take Joshua now.
Yeah, remember the little fat Mexican guy?
Yes.
Bloody
Andy Ruiz.
Yes, but Joshua actually beat in the second fight. But
he did, unfortunately. My friend, my friend's son, my best friend's son, is a fireman, and he's black guy, and he's a real Joshua fan. And the night I was watching that, I was in the Czech Republic, and I was up all night watching the fight, and I was texting my mate's son, literally round by round what was happening. And I remember texting, I think it was in the 3rd round, Joshua's down, and he's like, no way. And then I think again in the 5th round he went down twice, 3 times, didn't he? And then he went down for the 4th and final time, and I was texting, he's down again, and it was just the funniest thing ever. It sort of sticks in my mind, and he was more, because he was working, he was not able to watch it.
And Eddie Hearn, young Eddie Hearn, is just promoting the shit out of him, pushing it. He thinks he's fantastic.
Of course.
It's for him, it's a money earner for him. He's riding like a Blackpool donkey, to be honest. He's got nothing. Because he's big and muscular, doesn't mean, look,
no.
You have more lactic acid when you've got big muscles, and then you get tired quicker,
Yeah, you do.
So,
yeah.
I was a big fan of not George Foreman, Joe Frazier. Everybody was Clay, but I was a big fan of Joe Frazier, and I've also been a big fan of Larry Holmes, and but Larry Holmes wasn't muscular, but he could fight,
Oh well, it's not all about the muscle. I mean, they call Joshua Inflato, don't they? That's his sort of nickname. But yeah, all of the greatest boxers, they didn't have massive structures like that. In fact, it's counterproductive, because, as you said, it's using too much lactic acid. There's too much blood required to pump around that amount of flesh, to get the same result as a skinny guy would get for the same power. So it's not necessary. James Patrick is right. It was Joe Joyce. There was 3 boxers. Can you remember the third one, James? There was Joe Joyce, there was Dubois, and then there was the little fat guy. He had a pair of tits on him. I can't remember his name. Was it Dave? His surname started with an M. And these 3 kind of came around all at the same time. And of course, being white Irish, I had it in my heart that this Dave Mangum, something like that. James will remember, not Miller.
James will Google it.
Hey, Google it up. Magnum, something like that. And he showed great promise, and then didn't quite happen. I think his first name was Dave Gorman. Dave Gorman. There we go. I knew it would come to me eventually. Didn't start with the name James. Cancel that. Dave Gorman. It's not going to be Gorman either. His first name's not Dave, is it? I'm thinking of the comedian Dave Gorman.
You'll get it right.
Joe Joyce is currently serving life imprisonment. I think that might be a different Joe Joyce. Yeah, Joe Joyce is out, isn't he?
No, he's the gypsy, big Joe Joyce, the bare knuckle fight, the gypsy boy. That's who that one is. Yeah.
I thought.
He was the pretty big ups. His father was called Big Joe Joyce, and all he thinks he could beat everyone,
I thought he got out recently. Was Joe Joyce the one that hit the 70-year-old man in the bar?
No, that was the other Joyce.
Right, yeah, okay. Nathan Gorman, there we go, James. I knew we'd get there. See how quick I am at remembering these things once everyone else has done all the research. Nathan Gorman. Nathan Gorman showed such potential, and I thought perfect, because I like the whole sort of storyline about, fat guy becomes world champion, like when Tyson Fury first beat what's his name? Oh, fucking hell, my memory is bollocks. Tyrone. When he did the Ukrainians, what's his name? Klitschko.
Oh, yeah.
And in the press conference afterwards, he lifts up his T-shirt, shakes his belly, and says, "She got beat by a fat bastard." I like that. That kind of makes you think, if he can do it, I can do it. Not that I'm that fat, but I've had that belly. I've had that belly through my life a couple of times.
I know when he fought Tyson Fury, I thought, what are you doing, man? You're walking back in a corner. You're not even going up to fight him. Just letting him come in and attack him.
Do you mean the Klitschko fight?
No, the Usyk fight. When he fought Usyk.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
He fought, when he was out fighting Wilder, he was getting stuck into him, letting him go. He fought Usyk. He didn't throw any punches. He went just back into it. What's happened to him? I thought.
Tyson Fury, when he came out, when he started for the third fight with Wilder, was just a transformation of a boxer. The first fight was pretty sort of conclusive. I think it was a draw, but the second fight and was pretty much the same, probably a little bit more. But the third fight, he came out and just pummeled him. And if we'd have stuck with that, if would have kept that Tyson Fury, I think he would have beat Usyk.
Yeah.
I was so frustrated with the Usyk fights, honestly, so frustrated.
Well, the New Zealand boy came out then, and he fought Wilder.
Joseph Parker,
He battered Wilder.
Absolutely pummeled him, Yeah, but Wilder's disturbed, isn't he? You can tell that because he had a really easy run. I think what did he do? About 40 professional fights? Is that over-exaggeration? He did a hell of a lot of professional fights, but pretty much every one of them was an easy run. When you look at the list of boxers, you've heard of barely any of them.
But if you look at him, Vincent, the upper body's all well and good, but the legs, they're like a robber's horse,
like two sticks. Yeah. Looks like he's on stilts.
Yeah. He's not going to keep you up for long, But his upper torso, he's big, solid muscle. But the
Yeah.
legs on him, he's like Bambi.
Tyson's not far off, though. Tyson's not far off. He looks like he skipped leg day. He's got very
But
skinny lower
yeah,
legs.
but the money's made is I don't know how much he's made of the boxing. He's made a absolute fortune. So
I think they estimate Tyson at about 100 million, 120 million or something now.
wow,
So
incredible.
he's done,
Yeah, but the thing is, his downfall to me, or what spoiled his career, is going a bridge too far and losing those fights. If he went out as champion, go out, glory, Tyson Fury, super best heavyweight that's been around for a while. Boom,
Yeah,
end the story. But now, beaten twice by Usyk and whatever,
yeah,
it's just flattened it. Go out like fucking Joe Calzaghe, unbeaten.
yeah.
One of those things.
Well, it's quite a privilege to be able to do that, and it's a rare privilege as well.
Mm.
Calzaghe was lucky that he didn't find anyone that could trouble him, not even close. I'd say there's been nobody in that division or those divisions since that would have troubled Calzaghe.
Well, Carl Frost is always saying he would have beat him, but
Get out. And there would have been 120,000 people watching.
no, there's another one that wants to jump on the gravy train because he wants to fight that fucking what's him, the American fucking YouTuber.
What
He
Froch
wants,
does.
yes, yeah, he said I'll fight him. Yeah,
Easy money, you see.
yeah, that's it. That's it.
Easy
That's the
money.
draw.
Did anyone bother to watch Manny Pacquiao at the weekend?
No, did he
No.
win?
No, I had no idea. Pile of fucking shite.
Shit.
Not interested in the slightest. Just no interest, I never liked Terence Crawford anyway. So Roberto Duran came to Leicester. Tell you this, Nessie. He released a documentary about 4 years ago, 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago. He released a documentary. I never watched the documentary, but I had tickets to go to an event with Roberto Duran there, and me and my friend were going to go and just didn't go. I think I ended up working, and I was still at work, and he rang and he says, that thing's on, and I just never went. But yeah, he was doing an event in Leicester. I think he was travelling the whole of the UK
Yeah.
for some reason.
That era then, Vincent, when you had him around, you had Sugar Ray Leonard,
Yeah.
and what was the tall, thin guy? Sugar Ray Leonard. He was so good. He was fucking class.
This is a little bit before my time, Tyrone. I'm not as old as fucking McDonald, If you were chatting to McDonald now, he'd be telling you all about Rocky Marciano and things like that. But me, you've got to kind of start with what's his name, Barry McGuigan. Barry McGuigan is about as early as I remember.
Yeah,
I remember my father following Barry McGuigan.
Yeah. I think when he lost that fight, I think it was the heat that beat him, I think Barry McGuigan was great. Now he's had a battle. He's battling all these big promoters because he's doing promoting himself, wasn't he? And he was
Yes.
speaking up about them pushing and trying to push in and take business away from them,
Yeah.
and walk all over them. But
Wow, they're very close circles on it. There's a lot of money
yeah,
involved.
I'm glad he stood his ground, Barry. I like Barry McGuigan. He's true. He's true to boxing.
And another one. Surprised you didn't remember this. Ricky Hatton wants to fight
yeah.
again.
Yeah.
And I saw a photograph of him the other day for the first time in many, many years. And he doesn't look like he's ready to start fighting again.
No.
He looks very old.
Yeah.
They're just exhibition fights. They're merely sort of glorified sparring, aren't they?
This is a thing I believe. Once you are famous, and then you fall out of this popularity, You think, oh, I can't handle this. I want to. So let's go and fight again. Let me get myself back in the limelight.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's
Oh,
an easy touch. Apparently, James Patrick MacDonald says Barry McGuigan has a 58-inch chest, which incidentally is exactly the same size as Smiler's. As Smiler's was when he was running B Wing.
yeah. There's been some really good boxers out there. Some British class. Absolute
Yeah,
class. Joe Bugner's coming back as well
Joe Bugner. Isn't Joe Bugner dead?
I,
I think he died. I believe he died. I'm sure he did. Although I do this quite a lot with rock, with music celebrities, kind of.
I think he did. I think he did pass away.
I think he did. I remember him. Australian, wasn't he, Buckner?
Yeah. I believe so. Yeah, there was another one around at the time. I can't think of it. I can see his face, but ginger fella. And I know it wasn't Nathan, so don't say that. What was his name? Oh, Jesus Christ. It'll come to me later on. But yeah, they were around the same time. Bugner, the heavyweights, he was around the same. Clive Dunn, not Clive Dunn.
Oh,
Clive Dunn's a fucking.
who do you think
Yeah.
you are kidding, Mr.
What was his
Hitler?
name? Something Dunn, I'm sure it was. Richard Dunn.
Was it?
Richard Dunn.
Oh, I don't remember that name.
Yeah, Richard Dunn. That was it. Yeah. Yeah, but. Oh, there was JPM says.
Joe Bugner is 75.
not
Sorry,
Nathan.
Joe.
Oh.
Sorry, Joe.
Let's just put him down and out already. He's in the ground.
If anyone has been online and altered his Wikipedia, please change it back.
Yeah. Yeah, me. Steve Collins, yes, he was class. Steve Collins. He beat he beat them all. He beat all that era up there. Fucking Steve Collins, the Irish guy.
Yeah.
Yes, man. I don't know where Muslim's son wants to fight the Eubank's son again, doesn't he? So I don't know if there's.
I read that was all falling apart.
Is it? Because. Oh, excuse me, breaking wind, yeah.
Eamon Andrews, he was a good boxer, Nessie. Eamon Andrews was a cracking boxer.
I think the best boxer I've seen was Gilbert James. He was the local undertaker. He fucking boxed them all.
Gilbert James. Never heard of him. Are we talking like the 30s here, Tyrone?
No, he was Undertaker, Vincent.
Leicester's knocked out a few boxers.
Leicester's got a big up title on a jump.
And I've known all of them. I've sort of spent time with all of them. Chris Pyatt, know him very well. The other little fella, I can't remember his name. God, what was his name? He had one moment of glory. His dad owns a butcher's shop Dad did own a butcher's shop on Narborough Road. Oh, what was his name?
Or boxer?
Yeah, boxer. Oh God, what was his name?
What sort of weight was he, Vincent?
Oh, he was middle. He was tiny little fella. I'm gonna
Google him.
Gonna have to. Oh, should.
Who's from the West Country? Ricky somebody boxer.
I haven't seen him in a million years.
Not sure that one day.
Tony Simpson. There we go. Tony Simpson.
Oh, Tony Simpson. Yeah. He was middleweight, wasn't he?
Was he a middleweight? I can't remember.
Yeah.
I used to go boxing training at Highfields Boxing Club for years. So sort of a good friend of mine was a professional boxer. Sadly died now. A guy called Lemrick Stevens. And he was friends, and so ultimately I sort of hung around all these people. Chris Pyatt, I know his sister, there's like 30 of them in that family, from one father. 17 different mothers type of thing.
Yes, Johnny Owen from Wales, he passed away afterwards, didn't he? Yeah. He don't think he come round from after being knocked out. I think it was Lupe Pinto he fought the world title. He was British and Commonwealth European champion, Johnny. A matchstick man, they called him.
Yeah, I've heard of him. I've
Yeah.
heard of him. That name rings a bell.
There was the three statues in my hometown, Merthyr Tydfil. One is John Owen, the Matchstick Man. Fourth died fighting Lupe Pinto. The other one is Howard Winstone, who became world champion. He beat the Japanese guy, can't remember his name, in Cardiff. The other one is Eddie Thomas. I don't think Eddie went very far, maybe British champion or something like that. So, but yeah.
Would Kawasaki be your most famous Welsh boxer?
I would imagine so, Vincent. Yeah.
Yeah, I would. I would think
Yeah.
so. I can't think of another.
Yeah. There was my mate who passed away last year, my best mate, John. He was from the town. He was well known. There was quite a lot of boxers in Merthyr, you know. And it was always a grudge match between him and this boy called, not Kawasaki, Galozzi. Same way, they fought many times in Redcar Leisure Centre.
Good Welsh name, that.
Yeah, and Harry Carpenter, if you remember Harry Carpenter, was
Yes.
talking about years ago. He said,
You know what I mean, Harry?
Yeah, best fight I've ever seen, he said, between John and Galozzi. They were actually toe to toe. They just stood in front of one another and just threw punches, boom, 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 every round. It was incredible. I've got the fight on DVD or somewhere. But yeah, if you ask anybody, John was so popular in the town, you know, he used to get away with all sorts, you know, but great guy, absolutely.
Yeah. Going back to the Ben Eubank Sons fight, I don't think Eubank is willing to sort of give away too much this time, because it was very close. Very close, despite the fact that I think Eubank should have won it sort of outright. I don't think Eubank was sort of ready for that fight.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's willing to sort of concede so much this time. So I saw an interview with Ben a week ago, probably last Saturday, fight night sort of thing, and he was saying nobody else wants to work with Eubank, so he's gonna have to fight me. So it kind of gives you an idea of where it is in the negotiations.
I heard Benson is fighting Ronnie Pickering.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Eubank is just a little bit too big for Ben.
Yeah,
Ben's got a heart of a lion like his father, but I think he's a little bit too small for.
It's an awkward pairing. Eubank definitely had to put more into his training than Ben, which gave Ben a sort of almost a fair footing for the fight. You know, there was less taken out of Ben. I don't think Ben should have been as challenging as he was. You know, if you just put them both at their ideal weights, Eubank would hang on.
Yeah.
Going back to Benson, Benson's got his own demons that he's battling before he's fighting Ronnie Pickering. Poor old Benson. I haven't seen Nathan for ages. Is he gone? Is he finally fucking left YouTube after I ordered him to? Thank God for that, Nathan. You fucked off.
I think he's having I think he's named. I think it was Broxy Breeze. He's named in his last. But he's having a back and forth with Yogi at the moment. So
right.
Over the migrant crisis, I think.
Oh, he's fighting with a different person every day, isn't he? Poor bastard.
Yeah.
You're a tortured soul, Nathan. You're a tortured soul. Feel free to put a post up about me tonight. Save you having to find someone to argue with, you ugly fucking ginger.
Did you want to put a post about you? You talk about me now for not telling me what.
For allowing it. You allowed it. Jesus.
I think he was on early this morning. I think he was. Yeah, I know he was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know what he was talking about or who he was talking about because I haven't seen it. But I just seen it was on. It was in the background.
I like a good Nathan live. I do. I like to see that he's gone live, and I like to think to myself, "Fuck that! I'm not listening to that shite." And literally, you know, that's it.
Well, I mean, I can see his life, but I can't comment in there, so I'm trying not.
You're not blocked.
I'm blocked. Yeah,
This
I'm
is
blocked.
this is this is all down to your own poor behaviour, Tyrone. You've only yourself to blame. You've only yourself to blame.
JPM, your JPM says they could just give him a reason to put up a 5-minute live. Well,
Go on.
JPM, his intro lasts longer than his lives. You know that.
God blimey.
I don't know how many
Blimey.
people he's called out. He wants to meet so many people. He's a fucking character. You've got to laugh at him, man. Jesus.
Yeah. He's a tortured soul.
When he
A
goes
tortured
on
soul.
about me, he calls me Tyrone. Isn't it Tyrone? You know what I'm talking about, Tyrone. Every other word is, yeah,
Tyrone.
it's Tyrone, Tyrone.
It gives you a double-barreled name. Tyrone.
And he's off. He's off at me for not blocking him.
Good blimey, you've got people here begging for Chris Wright to get on panel. Jesus Christ.
Oh, fairly bollocks. He's having to go at me for not blocking him. It's your fault. You should have blocked me. He blocked himself in the end. I got to. I think our Let's Spinner has been chucked off as well.
Oh, I might have upset Lex yesterday or the day before. I think he
I
was on
seen it on
Ness's.
Ness's. Yeah, you did.
I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to upset you, Lex. I just,
Oh well, I noticed you put the wheels on the bus thing on there about him. I seen that.
Oh, Di says, Vincent, in that very demure voice, can you wish all the girls a very happy, jolly last evening in Cyprus? Are you all there tonight in Cyprus, Di? Let's have a photograph sent. You know you've got my email. Let's have a photograph of the girls by the swimming pool. That'd be nice. And I should like to wish you all a very happy, jolly last evening in Cyprus. Don't drink too much booze. Don't get involved with too many Cypriot men. And make sure you get in bed by 12 with cold cream on.
Stay away from the fires.
Stay away from the fires.
Big Z, you can see him. Yeah.
Oh, I bet there's going to be hell to pay tonight in Cyprus. Just the cheap prosecco will be fucking flowing.
Prosecco. Hey, Caster's good to see you, man.
Somebody asked me the other day, do you believe Chris Wright is actually in Spain? I can't remember who that was.
Oh, he's definitely there. Definitely there.
Well, it did make me pause for a second. I don't think Chris would try to fool us. But who was it? Was it Nessie? It was probably Nessie, actually.
Out there, whoever's thinking he's not, he's definitely, yeah. I know he's coming home in September for a week.
Oh, it'd be good to have you back, Chris. Be good to have you back.
It's like he's not gone away. He's on every fucking
Yeah.
live going.
I know. Yeah, we see him more now. We'll meet you at the boat, Chris, when you come back. Be like the lads coming back from war.
If you look at his page, his videos about him walking around Spain with, So, yeah.
Well, I hope you're enjoying yourself, Chris. I hope it's an experience that you're going to get something from. You know, it's going to make you more worldly wise, more rounded a character.
The thing is, he's taken that big step. I mean, he's let his house go. Of course, he was renting the house, wasn't he? So his house is gone. So even if he comes back, he's got to go back to his mother, I think, until he can get another place.
Well, it was quite a bold thing that he did, wasn't it? To, sort of up sticks and move abroad.
Yes, Di, enjoy your last night. Have a great time.
Yeah, have a great night, Di. Whoa,
yes.
Bunch of girls there being left needing there, James. Shall we jump on a plane to Cyprus, James? Me, you. We'll take... Who else shall we take? Paul Dunn's probably up for it. We get there about 9:30, 10 o'clock. They'll have all that cheap prosecco inside, and we'll be quids in. If you're on for it, James, let me know. I'll meet you at Stansted Airport.
My boy, one of my boys just come back from Tenerife, and he said it was absolutely baking out
Oh,
there.
I can imagine it'd be horrendous.
Absolutely baking. He said
Oh,
sometimes you just couldn't go outside the door, until later in the evening, incredibly hot.
yeah. I never went to Tenerife in the middle of summer. I always ended up going to Tenerife in sort of October, November time.
Mm.
And it always was just perfect, you know. The little green birds on the trees in the morning wake you up, and it would be, I don't know, late 20s at best, you know. But
I can remember many years ago, I went to a place called, I think, Costa Tequise, Costa Tequise or something like that.
is that
And
Tenerife?
it's Lanzarote,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah. And so they've just got that little breeze all the time, like Tenerife. There's a little breeze around,
Yeah, yeah.
We think,
Yeah.
oh, it's pretty good, it's fine. But, oh, it's burnt to a frigging crisp.
Well, this is it. It's an illusion, isn't it?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
them rays are still getting through, but
yeah.
the cool breeze
That's it.
fools you into thinking that you're quite safe.
That's when I fell in love with aloe vera. Oh, my missus was smothering me in bloody aloe vera. I was burnt. I was really badly burnt. Stupid.
Yeah, I never went to Lanzarote. I went to the other one of the other islands. Future
Oh, yes,
Ventura, a
yeah.
bit of a shithole.
Yeah, yeah.
And I flew on Future Ventura Airlines once as well, which is again a bit of a shithole.
Yes, I will never conform to cheeky bugger. Titan still goes on the 60 to 80.
It's swingers club. Yeah.
We're like are we the same pet, amongst all the old people?
Well, you've got to take it where you can get it, Tyrone.
Yes, well, the thing is, I could have gone out to Cyprus in September. September's scorch again. So out there a few years ago, and it was just low 40s, too hot for me. I
Yeah, it's
can't do
no
that.
good.
But my missus is going out. She's going to see her brother. He lives out there, and so I thought, no, I ain't going. Bugger it. So she's going to go on her Todd.
I went to Turkey when my son was being baked. He was still sort of in the stomach, so he was. I think she was about 3, maybe no, about 6 months pregnant. I think.
Yeah, yeah.
No, a little bit less than that. She was 3 months pregnant. So it was middle of summer and 40 degrees at night. There was a massive billboard that I took a photograph of. And at night, I don't know, 11 o'clock at night, it's fucking 40 degrees. It was horrendous. We were there for 2 weeks as well. And we came back hating each other. It was just an awful holiday. We're both allergic to air conditioning. Neither of us can sort of cope with air conditioning, and obviously,
my throat been sent air conditioning.
yeah, it just destroys me.
Yeah.
Sort of the heat is bad enough, but the air conditioning will get me sneezing and sort of clogged up and so on. So yeah, can't have either.
But,
And worst holiday I've ever had.
and it's if you go on a cruise, it's going all. You can knock it off, obviously, in the cabins, but my missus likes to have it on in the night time. And I just rather have the door open,
Oh yeah,
the balcony door open, and that's it. Naturally that way. But I don't not fussy on air conditioning. But I think they're all different.
yeah. I mean, I can cope with it on sort of very 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 low, just to try and condition the room a little bit. But when you're in a really hot place and you have to have it pumping, it's a fucking killer.
Yeah.
It's a killer. It's no good. Like if you walk into a fancy shop when you're abroad and it's hot and the air conditioning hits you. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's sort of.
The thing is, you've got to have it then, haven't you? You can't suck the heat. You've got to have the aircon. That's as simple as that.
Well, it's a draw for the customers as well, isn't it, to get them in?
I try not to put it on in the car. My missus wants it on all the time, but I try. I've got one of those panoramic sunroofs. I just open the sunroof, right open. No, she wants the air conditioning on.
Yeah.
Awful thing.
I tend to be all right with car aircon.
Yeah.
When I'm on my long drives, I tend to have the air conditioning on and a couple of windows, in my main car, because it will just sort of give you the temperature, but also the air coming in as well. If I close the windows, I'd start sneezing eventually. But not so bad with the car air condition. Doesn't seem to be so brutal on the senses.
Too much info there, lads. Too much info. I'm going to sleep naked in the summer.
Yeah, lovely let's.
Air conditioning on the flight is the thing is, it's all recycled CNS, isn't it? You're picking up whatever else is breathing into the fucking atmosphere. So it's all recycled air conditioning. You can't get away with it on a plane, can you? Horrible stuff. Oh, and from your aircon's knackered, and you plus just want regassing, is it?
No, it looks like his compressor's gone. It's belt-driven compressor, isn't it?
That's it. Yeah. Well, I think my own Monday, or I think it's the only time I've ever used on my car regas was on the old Monday. Or
Yeah, I've never had a car regassed.
No.
I am a delicate flower, free big ups. I am. Very sensitive boy.
The thing is,
more than you realise.
Yeah. We don't get that constant hot weather. We got to have the aircon on all the time. So, hardly ever regas them, I think.
Yeah.
Compressor.
Yeah, I mean, thank God we don't. It's sort of only a few times of the year, isn't it? It's not for long. It's going to be a hot one this weekend, apparently.
Oh, yeah, bring it on, bring it on, bring it on.
I was out this morning, and it was pretty cold when I left the house, about 7:30, and by midday it was roasting, absolutely roasting.
Oh, I've got to be honest, Vincent. I went to bed last night around 1:30, and I let the dog out to have a pee in the garden, and it was absolutely freezing out there.
Yeah, it's good.
It's not cold, but I went upstairs and I said, "Oh, it's warm, it's warm." Because we'll never sleep without, even in the winter, the windows open all the time,
Same.
In the winter time.
Yeah.
Never have the windows closed in the house.
Yeah, same. I can't sleep unless the window's open.
Yeah, I'm the same. Yeah. Got to have a bit of a fresh air.
Yeah. It's the stillness of the air, isn't it? You know when it goes stale, it's not moving. It needs to sort of circulate. Oh, my ex was a killer for this. She'd have it as warm as possible in the summer, windows closed, and didn't like the noise, didn't like the cool air. Oh my lord!
No, it's not healthy. It can't be healthy to be just locked in a room with no air getting in at all.
No.
Windows are open all year round with me, all year round.
So when choosing a partner, you don't do it just on looks. You've got to cover all of these things, I think. All of these small incompatibilities all need to be sort of aligned and ticked,
I think so. It's like a 20-question thing when you meet these people.
Oh, it'd be more questions than that.
Do you like this? Do you like that?
Yeah.
No. I mean, yeah, it's strange. But it's funny how you meet someone and you are like, my first marriage, you think, yeah, and then you find out, no, we're not compatible, it's not working, So you've got to.
Well, my mother always says, it's a phrase that she's used quite a lot through life and it's sort of, if you want to know me, come and live with me, sort of thing. That kind of along those lines. I can't remember exactly how she sort of formats it. And it's absolutely true. I've lived with, I think, 3 different women in the sense of actually making that decision to live with somebody. I've shacked up with many, and many have sort of shacked up with me, temporarily or otherwise. And yeah, it's not until you've sort of spent a good while with them, you find out whether it's going to work or not, and it's unfortunate, you know.
I think there's a lot of truth in that, have a trial period, see how it works out,
But that's the point I was getting to there, that there
Yeah.
needs to be some kind of a probation period where, as soon as you realise her farts smell like rotten cabbages, you can fuck her off without any retribution, Send her back to her parents.
You may feel the same about you. It works both ways, doesn't it? They think, maybe, yeah. Is he the right one for me? No, he's not. But yeah, I mean, a trial run is a perfect scenario, isn't it? If it doesn't work out,
it would be. But traditionally, we didn't have those things. You would live at your parents until the day of your marriage, and then you would be married and probably live in your parents' back bedroom for another 5 years until you could afford to buy your first house, or you would move into your house if you were fortunate. Back in the day, sort of 50 or 100 years ago. So you would both go in dry, and that would be it. And the success rate for marriages was incredibly good. Nowadays, people sort of find out, that your cabbages, your farts do smell of rotten cabbages, and you're gone.
But I think back, you're talking back then, Vincent, it was scorned upon if you were going to separate or get divorced, so they stuck it out just to, save face, I think, rather than it was
maybe
the right thing to do.
Maybe they couldn't afford. There was no other options for them. They couldn't go back to their parents. The parents wouldn't have allowed that. The parents would have said, "You get back to the house and you make the effort." So there were no options for them, or very little options.
Yeah, I think. Let's see. Not everybody's compatible. You won't be compatible to everyone. So no, it's just one of those things that you have a trial period. It doesn't work out. Doesn't work out. Good night. So long. It's been good, but until the right one comes along.
Do you know what, Let's? I don't think it's about compatible. I think sometimes you rush into things, and hindsight is a marvelous tool. You go running in thinking this is exactly what I want, and then when you actually look at it, it's not. And people tire of each other very quickly these days as well, I think. This is highlighted mainly by the fact that people get married, whirlwind marriages, and then whirlwind divorces. There was quite a few high-profile celebrities that got married on whims over the last 20-odd years, and then they get divorced 14 days later or something. So surely these people have the sense to realise that sort of they don't have to get married. You could have moved into that slowly. You could have slowly sort of introduced that idea.
I think, like Paul Dunn says, generally it's no relationship if you can't do what you want when you want.
Yeah.
There's got to be a lot of trust in every partnership, hasn't it? There's got to be a lot of trust. If there's no trust, then it's pointless.
Well, trust is important, but some people are just racked with insecurities, aren't they? Many women are very insecure beasts. I think men are these days as well. I think insecurities crept into man's psyche now. Probably related to drug and alcohol use, more likely. I'm quite the free spirit when it comes to relationships, so I'm very difficult. If I ever had a woman trying to tell me how things were going to be, it didn't work out from there. And in sort of response to that, I wouldn't tell anyone else how to be either. But I didn't accept somebody telling me how things should be.
That's fair. That's fair. Like I said, it's got to be suitable for both parties. You can't, somebody like I wouldn't stop my missus going anywhere. If she wanted to go somewhere, say, carry on, go.
Yeah, just get them out. Yeah, take yourself out. See you later.
Go there and I'll do my own thing,
Yeah.
But there's no way you're gonna just follow them around like a fucking lapdog. It doesn't work like that. You've got to trust
No,
them.
no. But that very the essence of that is what makes me shit in a relationship. I think is because it can come across as me not really caring. You know,
Do you get
Me
easily
not-
pissed off, Vincent?
do I what?
You get easily pissed off with people, with women,
No, well, not really. I don't. I think I get told that I don't really show much interest, if you know what I mean. I don't mean in that sense.
right.
In the sense of they would want me to be a little bit more jealous, a little bit more sort of concerned. What's that?
Yeah.
You're going out with your ex-boyfriend? Okay, have a good time.
Yeah.
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 Because invariably the next night I'm likely seeing one of mine. So.
Yeah, that's what I say. Works both ways.
It certainly does.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, is there?
Yeah.
So, but you've never have you ever been married, Vincent? Or you've never been married?
No, I was never married. I was with his mum for nigh on 14 years, all
Well,
told.
it's a fair time.
Yeah, it's long enough. So I kind of feel as though that's my part done, if you know what I mean. That's sort of the taking it seriously bit done.
So you
Raise the son.
to be alone and play the field, yeah?
Oh, I'm not alone. I'm definitely not alone now, but that's as far as it is.
You prefer to be unattached to a woman, but you still get women when you want women.
I think you might be over-exaggerating things there slightly, Tyrone.
You always say, I gotta go now, I gotta go.
If you use the word woman, then I'd say, yeah, you're kind of right. But not women.
So
not
you're
women.
Someone regular then, that's
Yeah.
well,
Well, I think it's fair to say, and all the ladies in the chat would agree, a man like Vega doesn't go lonely for very long. That's about as in character as I can be. So I kind of feel as though I've done my time. That's a terrible way to describe it. I wish I'd had 10 children with her rather than just the one. That would have been the ideal sort of situation for me. Unfortunately, that was not to be. But now I see myself as having a whole new role to play. He's growing up. He needs guidance and education and trainers.
Yeah, well, trainers, yeah.
Yeah.
But in that respect, we were lucky that your ex-partner didn't say, right, you're not going to see him anymore, or because some people they get crucified when they split up. They say you're not going to see the kids anymore, but then you have to fight that.
Well, I have had these problems. I've talked about it on here quite a lot. When I first came onto YouTube, I talked about it quite a bit. I did have all that nonsense from her. Bear in mind, she'd moved to a different country. I was due to go there as well. We'd sort of built a house there and had various other things going on, and then she sort of decided that it wasn't going to be quite as we'd planned it in the first place. And I was okay with that. I'm never going to force anyone to be in a relationship with me. But she did try to get problematic where my son was concerned.
Mm-hmm.
So she came.
Where your son is now, is that the nationality that the mother is?
Yes, Czech Republic.
Yeah.
So to cut a long story short, she found herself back in this country, arrested, and under the charge of the police for effectively removing a child without permission. So we went to court. I got exactly what I wanted in court. I was fair. I decided she wanted to go. Her mother was dying, so she wanted to go and be there anyway. So that's okay. I wanted my son to be there. I wanted me to be there as well, but I wanted me to be there and for it not to be in danger of being assassinated by one of her ex-boyfriends. So we went to family court here, and it took about a year and a half because I dragged it out for a year and a half to torture her. And I got a court order saying that not in any occasion whatsoever could she ever stop me from seeing my son. I was allowed to have him for 6 months of the year should I wish. She'd given me him for a year now if I wanted, She's that sort of removed from it all now. But back then when he was 10 years old, 10 years old, she sort of fought a battle. She lost, or nobody won really. But I was lucky enough not to be one of those men that fell foul of the family courts, where the family court said you can see your son, but you need to do it through a 4-inch plexi fucking glass with 2 armed police officers next to you, and you got 4 minutes, because that's what they do with a lot of men. When it was all going on for me, all I read and all I found was stories of men whose wives had left them, taken the sons abroad, and the men had either committed suicide or had never seen their son again, or the courts had ordered the son not to be, the father never to go near the son. And I don't know, I didn't know these men or who they were really, but you have to assume that if it's happening to bad men, it's happening to good men as well.
Yeah.
And I was very fortunate.
Yeah.
And we're now at the position, here we are now 2 years later, 2.5, 3 years later. We're at the point now where if I said send him over, she'd send him over. She wouldn't be bothered if he went back. He's 14. He's about 6'1" now. Eats for sort of more food than a small sort of Vietnamese family, and is getting costlier by the day.
Absolutely, aren't they all? Aren't they all? It's a long time before they get independent.
Yeah.
I think,
and he's got
Go on.
I was going to say he's got another 4 years of school there as well.
Yeah. Is he going to go on to university then?
Well, I'm not going to allow him not to go to university.
Yeah.
I'm certainly not going to allow him to go and study 16th century underwater basket weaving. It's going to be a science, or it's going to be a subject which I sort of agree on. There's only 2 or 3 subjects that I would agree on. One would be business studies or politics and anything to do with STEM, because I tend to think anything else is not worthwhile. I don't think the university is necessary. I never went to university, and I did all right.
My boy went, one of the boys went, and he dropped out twice, and he's got to pay a lot of money back, obviously, because, they like students' loan and all that business. But I think a lot of them, they get degrees in something they'll never, ever use in their lives,
Yeah.
And they end up stacking shelves in Tesco's, It's just fucking crazy.
Well,
if it's
one of my
3 subjects you said there, then yes, there's some always wanted in those categories,
Yep.
But some of the shit they're going for.
But of course, it's got to be something that he's interested in as well. I don't think parents should be forcing their children down a particular path if sort of, he's just not going to want to follow it. My best friend, a guy called Andy, studied law, and he got a first in law, which is a rarity, and he went on to do schools. What's it called? Recruitment, not recruitment. What's it called? When the officer comes when you're 15, 16 years old.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Fucking hell. You know what I mean. Careers officer. Yeah, he was a careers officer for a little organisation in Leicester which dealt with Leicestershire schools. So, and that was, That was his pleasure. That's what he enjoyed doing. He didn't want to do law. Decided that, unfortunately, quite late on, but he excelled in his degree.
There's not many go on to get a job that they actually love to be into, or what they train for.
It's
very,
difficult,
very
isn't it?
Yeah, very few.
Even the most luxurious of jobs you'll tire of them eventually.
Oh yeah.
When I used to have to be greasing the strippers at Spearmint Rhino in Leicester when I was a teenager, I used to hate going in some nights. Used to hate going in. Try and ring in. I'm a bit tired tonight.
Yeah, that's good then. Yeah, I agree. Yes.
I don't think Leicester has ever had a Spearmint Rhino, I'll be honest. It is James. My head is. I am so tired today. I can't remember a thing. Don't know about smoking weed though. I think there's.
Every child dreams of being something when they're younger, but then as they get a bit older, I think they change their mind. I don't think they really know what they actually want to do, and therefore they go and they get these stupid degrees, which end up totally wasted. Just to say, I've got a degree in what? Well,
Yeah.
I think, to be honest, one of the best jobs out there now, and the most lucrative jobs, is a bricklayer.
Well, you said earlier about, will he go to university?
Yeah.
If you'd have asked me sort of many years ago if I was talking to a parent and they were talking about their child's future, I would have said first and foremost, get him a trade.
Yes.
Get him a trade. Whatever it is, electronics, plumbing, bricklaying, get him a trade. Have that thing behind him. And I still strongly believe that way, believe that to be true now.
Yeah.
They're doing exceptionally well. They are slowly becoming the wealthier demographic in society, the builders.
Yeah. I'm looking at them, right? £1 a brick. They get paid £1 per brick. And they make 1,000 bricks a day.
Whoa.
But that's why you get some shitty houses, because you just flap them down, £1 a brick, just get them down, boom, 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 But you look at a plumber, the cost of a plumber these days, carpenter, anybody in the trade, plasterers, anything like that, they charge a fortune. Such a lucrative business now today. Yeah.
Well, I when I was at school, I kind of messed up my education a little bit. I got into a bit of trouble when I was in my sort of mid-teens, 14, 15, 16. It was a bit of a scallywag. So I left school with literally nothing. I went back into education when I was 18 and did GCSEs and a couple of A-levels. And I don't know why I did them now, because I've never used them. I've never had to produce certificates. Nobody's ever asked for them. But about a year after I finished the A-levels, I applied to a college to do heating and plumbing.
Yeah.
And I thought that would be a wise thing to do. And they wouldn't let me on the course. By hook or by crook, I tried to get myself onto this course, and they wouldn't have me. I was on the sort of the list for, if somebody backs out last minute and all that, and I was forever in contact with the guy there, and it was very popular then. So there was the sign up was huge. There were people waiting to get on them, and this was a time when sort of kind of finance and so on was quite big. Sort of the yuppie period had ended 5 years before, and then you had, what was his name, loads of money. It was at that time, yes, where he was a builder, wasn't he? And he was a builder driving a brand new XR3i and raking it in. And we heard about, in the Sun newspaper, about guys who were running up and down ladders with hods of bricks earning, I don't know, £500 a day at that time, which would have been extraordinary, at that time. So yeah, it was really popular, and I never got on this course. I suppose I could have tried other colleges or other sort of avenues, but I just couldn't get on this course, and I kind of regretted it for quite a few years after that. But then I was lucky enough to get into the area of work that I did, because I'd always done various things anyway. I was never happy with just one job, and I got into the thing that I did, took it seriously, and that was the end of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wish I had. I know so many plumbers now. They're fucking loaded. Fucking loaded.
There's more plumbers in Wales than anywhere else in the world.
Really?
Yeah, because of all the leaks.
What do you... it's a terrible joke, that. I was about to say, what are you doing to them toilets?
No, but no, not really. I mean, plumber charge a phenomenal money for plumber. All the tradesmen, you'll never see a poor tradesman today. Never.
Nope.
Never.
Nope. Even the avalanche of Eastern European plumbers and electricians and so on that hit this country sort of 8 to 10 years ago didn't even fucking dent the industry. It didn't even scratch the sides. The sort of the cost of these people is still high. I would assume most of those Polish did themselves out of jobs very, very quickly anyway, didn't they, with the standards of work? Because a lot of them were cowboys. I know I know many sort of Polish and Czechs who are incredibly good artisans, but a lot of them were shirkers. A lot of them were literally, pulling the wool over people's eyes.
That's Nessie said they should bring back YTS. I think that's
YTS.
That's actually a good thing to bring back. We need tradesmen, we need tradesmen. Although there's so many people building sites crying out for bricklayers, carpenters, plumbers, plasterers. They're crying out for them.
Yeah.
And
how old are you? Conform. The YTS was £37 when I left school. £37.50, I think it was.
That's it.
I think so. I remember it. I don't think it lasted much longer after I left school, the YTS. We used to laugh, young, thick and stupid. It's what we called the YTS. Young, thick and stupid. And I don't think they lasted very much after that. They brought in NVQs and the GNVQs not long after, which was a college and workplace based sort of education system. I think they tried to sort of up its level. The YTS was you were sweeping floors in some fucking supermarket for you're a similar age to me, conform.
Well, a mate of mine, Johnny Roberts, he used to work with a stonemason,
Ooh.
He picked up so much, he could hardly read or write, Johnny, but he picked up so much stuff. He used to go out on his own, he'd build a garage or building walls, and he's far better than any tradesman I've ever seen. He's absolutely perfect, but it's only what he's just picked up, labouring along the way, But boy, does he do a good job.
I've come across a few stonemasons in my time. I think I spoke to one in York a few years ago, and I spoke to another one. They had the old stones down, and it was like they'd made a display of it. The old stones down, and they were replicating the stones literally side by side, if you imagine.
Yeah.
And I remember speaking to this guy, and he'd been flown in. He was English, but he was living abroad. But he'd been flown in to work on this building. I would assume it was a church. I think it was. Yeah. And he said there's just nobody in this industry. They're willing to pay whatever I ask money-wise and fly me in.
That's it, yeah.
So...
it's very skillful to dress stone,
Of course, yes.
Yeah. So.
Let me just help James Patrick McDonough. Vega giving away his real age again. As I've said before, James, Just take your age minus 15 to 20 years, and you're about there. You're about there. And remove all that Reggie music that you like as well. It's no good for you. And stop smoking weed every day.
Yeah. Hey, Sandra Martin. Good to see you. Yeah, I mean, it's like I feel like we go refer back to this. Trade is what I think it should be more done, not to push people, but to try and get people into getting a trade. You know, whether it's electrician or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, in fairness, I mean, I hear this quite a lot. You know, the government doesn't do enough to encourage this, that, and the other. If your parents haven't done that, then that's the end of the failing. You know, your parents should be the ones who are responsible enough to push a child in the direction that it ought to go. They've spent its entire life with them. They'll know what its skills are. They'll know what its interests are, and you know.
I think they give an indication of what they want to be early on in life, don't they? You know, and
Yeah.
you can direct them down that path, or maybe if it's something that's you can see it's never going to work and it's just fantasy, then you try and direct them somewhere else and where they can earn a bit of money as a young man or young woman.
Yeah.
You know?
Most of the tradies that I know, electricians and plumbers, they all started working with their uncles or their old man. You know, they sort of pretty much followed in the footsteps, and that opportunity is priceless, absolutely priceless. You know, to do that.
Yeah. I mean, they used to, what they used to call it when you send a kid to some place of business to learn some. They should be put them in placement, didn't they?
Yeah. I remember when I was 14 years old, and my parents owned a property in Leicester, and it was the old gatehouse for Ayleston Manor. Giving away way too much information here. And there was a stables at the back, and there was an old guy, he must have been in his 60s, 70s, and he made sash windows for a living. Yeah. Just literally in there every single day making these windows, and every so often he used to ask me to help him for a day, fitting these windows if his usual lad wasn't there, and he'd pay me 70 quid a day.
Yeah.
When I was 14, this was a phenomenal amount of money for me at 14.
Of course, yeah.
I mean, the smoking and the drinking and the excessive drug use hadn't quite kicked in at that point.
The one shortage of they're crying out for are thatchers. Yes. The right day in trade of thatcher.
But I would assume it's a dying roof as well,
Depends where you are in the country, Vincent. They're prominent in a lot of places.
Yeah, true that.
But the thing is with those, I think there's a good lifespan on each thatch roof. I think it's like 30, 40, 50 years, whatever, before he's doing, So.
Well, there's one building I remember in Leicester which has got a thatched roof, and it's a pub. And the pub, it just popped into my head, and it's gone now again. James Patrick Madonna, you're right. Roll me a spliff. So this pub in Leicester has got a thatched roof, and it's burnt down about 3 times in my living memory. Oh. So whoever the thatcher is in that area is raking it in.
Yeah.
What's the pub called? I can't remember now. Still there, still going. I wouldn't assume it's the only thatch roof in Leicester, but it's the only one I know of.
Yeah, that's an art form.
The Shakespeare, the Royal Shakespeare, it's called. Pub.
Oh, right, okay, yeah, the Royal Shakespeare.
Yeah.
But
or the shaky, as they call it in the local area, of course. Yeah. Bastardise anything they will, these Leicester fuckers.
I'm starting the fires that thatchers.
Chimney sweep. Furry Bollocks reckons he was sent up chimneys as a child. He used to take that ball all the way up to the top.
Till they invented gas. Do I remember my first actual pay, really? I can remember, not my first actual one, but I can remember getting a little brown envelope with some pounds and other school.
Was it in old pence,
It
Tyrone?
was,
Was
Vincent. It
it
was.
240 pence to the pound?
Yes, it was, Vincent. Yeah.
At 2 and 6 for a week's work.
Expenses, half crown, 2 shillings, shilling, tanner, all that. You used to have a little brown envelope, and on the back would be pay, deductions, tax, this, that, and the other. And you get handed your envelope, your little brown envelope, and then that was it. Yeah.
And then, unfortunately, the next week after his first week at work, there he was off to fight in World War One, driving a tank.
It was a little bit after that, Vincent. A little bit after. But that's the way you pay then back then, in a little brown envelope. All this
200, 240 pence in a pound never quite made sense to me.
No. I remember as kids growing up, the big churches bottom of the street, and it was a thing that whoever was getting married, when the car came down, the father would wind down the window and throw a handful of pennies and the half pennies out the window.
Yeah.
It'd be a big scramble to try and get as many pennies as you could,
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
You'd get a loaf with each of those pennies, couldn't you?
Yeah.
Or at least that's what period television teaches us.
Well, I think I'm not 100%, but my first pint was just over a shilling, More than something for a pint of beer, It was crazy. And now, what's it now? £5 a pint.
Well, that's if you're in the poor areas. I think if you're down in the big smoke, you're looking at £8-9 a pint in a city pub.
Yeah, I think you are. Because Chris was saying he goes to Dublin and he has a pint in Dublin and it's €10. I don't know how much. That's about £8 something, I would imagine. What's a euro?
Yeah, well, it's not far, about £9.20 or something.
Yeah. Well, I pay £6.50 a pint down the Caravan Park for a pint of Guinness.
£6.50, Jesus.
And that's in a little fucking town down there in Newquay.
I go to Wetherspoons reasonably often, and they'll have. I think they have £2.50 pints, don't they? Still, £2.50, £3 pints. I don't buy beer, but I do see it on their billboards.
I don't know where the beer comes from, or if it's old beer or something.
It'd be slightly out of date, or just on its way.
Yeah, definitely for that price, 100%. Yeah, but no, it's a lot of people. I was talking yesterday in the bowls. I talked to this old guy, and one of the bowlers we talked about said he's not going to play no more. He's not feeling too good. He's having trouble. But then they were saying about how much he drinks. He said he drinks like hell in the house, and when he goes out in the pub, he's whacking it down his neck, and
excuse me.
He's gone that way because his parents are doing it. Mother and father have been doing it all their lives. Just drinking cans in the house, getting up, and they go to the pub. Not that often. The pubs they won't spend that much. But cans. No life at all. But he stopped playing bowls because apparently he's got some sort of condition with his stomach now, and he's got to have the old magic eye. So it's frightening him a bit, but he still doesn't stop drinking. It's crazy, but that's the biggest downfall. Alcohol.
It's terrible thing, that is. Demon drink. I was telling Nessie the other night. Thankfully, Nessie said to me she barely drinks nowadays.
She was fair play. She was looking good in the morning because she'd been up all night doing a live. Fair play, big up, Ness girl.
I thought she was looking a bit rough. I'll be honest with you, Tyrone.
I
did think to myself at some point, could you just pull them curtains a little bit, or maybe switch off that lamp? Dim the lighting a little bit.
Yeah. Oh my God, yeah. But no, I don't think I could do it.
Excuse me.
No. That's not for me, doing an all-night live. That's not. No way.
I think she was on for about 15 hours, she was saying.
Yeah. That's good going. Good
Gold.
going.
It's a fair old night, isn't it?
It's a
I
fair old
think
spin.
she's trying to crack onto that Tyke, though. You know that young fella Tyke.
Oh,
Trucking. Is
yeah,
it
man.
Trucking Tyke?
Oh, take truck in. Take truck
Yeah,
in.
she's trying to crack on to him at the moment.
I'm a Yorkshire
So
man. I'm a Yorkshire man. I am.
that's the one. Yep, yep.
Yeah.
Looks strangely similar to Peter Sutcliffe, and does drive a lorry. And that's all I'm going to say on that.
Yeah. He's a bit of a character, mind, isn't he? Yeah?
Somebody said to him the other day, they were arguing about something, and somebody said they ought to have cameras in the lorries, CCTV cameras in the lorries. And I piped up, stop you fucking killing them prostitutes.
A little warning, Tyrone, be careful of your willy and zips. I can assure you I won't be buying. Oh,
I
Brian,
remember the film Something About Mary, where he gets himself caught in the zip. Oh, I remember the first time I saw that. You could feel it.
Oh, I've done it a couple of times in my lifetime, Vincent.
Oh, never.
God.
Never.
Oh, yeah.
I'm far too protective, Tyrone. Far too protective.
Yeah.
I'm a wiser man than you when it comes to that.
Jesus Christ, it's painful.
Oh, well, I wouldn't be able to cope. So, yeah, I've always been very careful. Maybe you're protruding a bit more than me, and that's what it is, Tyrone.
I don't think so, somehow. Yeah.
Well,
I was telling my other camera up the other day, I said I didn't have to push it far. Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't imagine doing that. Oh, catching it.
Oh, yeah.
Catching it there. Oof. Mind you, mine's very hairy. I'm very hairy down there. I was talking about this the other day. I'll be very honest. I'm not one for manscaping, Tyrone. So
Right.
there'd be a handful of hair got caught in my fly long before there was any skin in there.
Too much information.
I could just go and get my trimmers and free myself from the zip. There'd be no pain whatsoever.
Oh, there you go. You just zip and you're free. So the clog the zip up, maybe they were.
Yeah.
Oh, it's I've done it. I think I've done it twice in my life. I think. And
Oof.
Yeah. Very painful.
How can you remember the recovery time? Was it a period of days, weeks, months?
Oh, a couple of days. A couple of days. Okay, now. Jesus.
Spider's legs.
What's that?
Now, I had a spider bite on my one of my little ganglies when I was in my 20s. The teeth marks were there and everything. I got bit on there, and they seriously went up the size of a football.
No,
Size of a football for about a day.
bloody hell. How the hell did a spider get in your drawers, Vincent?
Well, must have been warm in my bed. And the lady I was with at the time was a doctor. She sort of examined them because they just sort of blew up overnight, so to speak. And yeah, she found two bite marks.
Oh.
2 bite marks, two sort of little red fang marks.
I remember when I had this snip, then they blew up over.
Did they?
Christ. Fucking massive. Jesus fucking Christ. But
What age were you when you had the snip?
how old was I? About 50, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. But, I mean, I went to see my doctor. He said, well, there's a long waiting list to get it done in the National Health. He said, but my cousin does it. He said, who was another doctor, but in another, he was in the Rhondda Valley, the surgery. And I said, well, fair enough then. Can you, have a word sort of thing, So he did. I went and drove over there, me and the missus, and he said, "Have you shaved?" I said, "Yeah." "Oh, no, down there," he said. I said, "No, no." So he gave me this old Bic razor, right, and set me into the fucking room to shave my plums, Right. The worst thing was the injection. Oh,
Oof.
fucking hell. But I was
Doesn't go
sat,
into a testicle though, does it?
yes,
They inject your testicle.
yes. No, I was sat up on the bed. I watched him do it all, you know.
That sounds barbaric.
Yeah, and he told me to, to keep him sort of gently, without any pressure on him, that type of thing. So I had to go and buy a little truss. He said, go and get one of these. Honest now, this is true. And then I was wearing that, and my bollocks went massive. So I went to my own doctor, and he said, "No,
Truss.
you shouldn't have done that." He said, "You shouldn't have done that. You should have just let him hang naturally."
Yeah, just let them hang.
They wouldn't, but that twat over there told me, keep him. But fucking hell. But no, the worst part was the injection in the knacker. And then the little slit, he pulls a little tube out, snip, snip, job done. Stitch you up, way to go. I think it
Is
was
it
only
is
about
is
50 quid.
is there any truth in the rumour that your missus was tired of you impregnating all the women in the village? Is that?
Yeah, there's a little bit of truth in it, not a lot. No,
Yeah.
I was quite. I'm straight. I'm just genuine one person. Me. That's one woman man.
I'd rather have a needle put in my eyeball than a testicle. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I'm a very sensitive boy down there. Yeah.
Right,
I'd rather have an eyeball done.
yeah.
Jesus
Oh.
God. Apparently, there's no nerves in your eyes as well. So
Yeah, somebody said that. Somebody gets injected in the eyes pretty often.
yeah, there's no
Because
sort of.
they can pull your eyeball out onto your cheek, can't they? And,
They can. It's just like a pickled onion, isn't it?
yeah, yeah.
Effectively.
I wouldn't
If you
fancy
bit into one.
Obviously, when they do the laser treatment for what do you call it? The white stuff goes over your eyes.
The correctional surgery.
Yeah, yeah, but
I think there's problems when they mess around with the lens. I think that's the only area where there can be problems because there's a sort of area between the lens and the cornea which can be damaged and beyond repair.
yeah. Having it up the Jap's eye, Quentin, is no joke. Let me tell you, get a camera.
Whoa. You haven't had a camera up there.
Yeah, but twice. Yeah.
Is this some kind of fetishistic perversion by you, Tyrone?
Oh,
Needles
no.
in your testicles,
I tell
fucking
you, no.
GoPros up your japhole. What's going on? What's happening there in Wales?
A little bit of pain going in, but then there was a junior doctor there. The doctor said to him, "Would you like to take it out?" To the junior doctor. And he just fucking yanked it out like that. Oh, Jesus Christ. Fucking hell, that was painful.
It's traditional in Serbia to say "upa" as soon as it comes out. Upa. It does sound more like a hobby than a fucking fetishistic lifestyle choice. It's the valleys, James. I would assume there's not a lot going on since they closed down the mines and the working men's clubs.
Well, let's put it like this.
Entertainment has been sparse.
Oh my God.
Oh, blimey.
Yeah.
I won't be having the snip anytime soon. That's
No, I
good
don't
news. Good news for all you ladies out there.
There you go. Cataracts, I couldn't think of the name. Cataracts, that's it.
Cataracts. My mother had cataracts.
But,
She's had them done. She had one done. She had one done, and then something happened. She didn't go back to the hospital for a year, and she just kept complaining that she could see perfectly well out of one, not so much out of the other one. I think it was possibly COVID that caused the delay, possibly, if I remember correctly. 50 Kinks of Tyrone. The truth is coming out.
And who thought Injun Bracket is well dead? Yeah. Well, Vincent, thank you for your company, but I'm going to...
You're welcome, Tyrone. It was good to speak to you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure always to have you on, Vincent. You're a good guy.
I wish you all a beautiful afternoon. It's Friday. The weekend starts here. Stay off that weed, McDonald. If something productive can come from my words and you follow them, then good on you. And stop listening to that Reggie music as well. Thank you, Tyrone. And goodbye to all.
I expect I'll catch you on somebody else's live this evening.
Oh, I'm busy tonight. I've got a woman coming round.
Oh.
See you later, Tyrone.
No, Vincent. Have a good one. There you go, people. That's Mr. Vega. We all know Vincent. He's a straight talker, straight off the hip. Anyway, whatever we discussed earlier on, whatever your points of view are on immigration, I think that's down to you. But as far as I'm concerned, all I've seen is parents, grandparents concerned about their families. That's how I see it. And nothing else. No Nazis, no nothing, any of that shite that goes, other people are saying. Hey, Landy, I've just finished here, brother. Good to see you, mate. So, as I say, do your own research and you make your own minds up. But people, thanks for popping in for this, just a chat. Me and Vincent talking bollocks. Thanks for popping in. And a lot of it was about bollocks, by the way, but thanks for popping in. Big up the chat, big up the mods, and be kind to those that are kind to you. If they're not, fuck them. And as we say in Wales, oil vowed. But first of all, people, have a great weekend. God bless. See you soon. Oil vowed. Goodbye.